We're ready. What's up? Aloha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here.
Let's go, Dorn.
We're here. Welcome to the Aloha Marketing Friday Jam Session. I'm your host, Tom Gaddis, my business partner, Nick Ponte. How's
Howdy.
everybody doing today?
Who's Wee Doobie? Wee Doobie. He's here hanging out with us on the YouTube.
I know. He said, who's here? Welcome. We have an awesome show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about revenue producing activities. We're going to be sharing some of our tips, strategies, ways that we get the revenue producing activities done, how we outsource some of them, all those great things on today's live show. So you're going to want to be here. We're also going to take your questions. We're going to give away some Cash App money. We're going to celebrate some wins. It's going to be a great show. So why don't you guys grab a cool drink? I'm going to cue up the intro, and we'll see you back here in a few seconds.
Ready for the fastest 60 minutes of strategies and tactics to build your remote business from anywhere in the world? It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned. Now, back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Yeah, they're fired up out there.
They sure are.
Yep, I see Marvin. What's up, Marvin? Yeah, Marvin says no shark shirt. Jacqueline says she's doing well. Not sure who this is. You have to give StreamYard permission to show your name. Or this is too, and then you can do that. Tom, what's up? Welcome,
Nice.
welcome, welcome.
No, we don't always forget about you, YouTube people. We see you there. So today we're going to be talking about revenue producing activities, Tom, RPAs.
RPAs.
Has anybody here been doing any RPAs today, or have you been slacking on your RPAs?
I'm curious, what would you consider an RPA?
Ooh,
I would like to know that first.
Maybe we should pick out a good one and send them some cash. What do you think?
Sure.
Also, we don't even have one single like in the stream yet. Oh, we got a love. As soon as I said cash, we got a heart.
Yeah.
Give us some
Somebody's
hearts.
like, we're in.
Give us some likes. Give us some examples of some RPAs. We'll give out some Cash App money. We're just going to do it. We're going to front load this live stream with some some giveaway action.
You know,
RPAs all the way. Slacking.
Have you heard that song, Jiggle Jiggle?
I don't know. Is it like a rap song or is it?
Yeah, it's Paige and Sophie's new favorite song.
Oh, okay.
Jiggle Jiggle. But in one of the lines in it, he goes, "My money doesn't jiggle jiggle. It only folds."
Yeah. I've heard that song. That's a good one.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Does anybody ever, Dorn, you may feel this. Tom, you may feel this. I don't know. You ever feel guilty? You ever feel guilty for not doing RPAs? For not doing revenue producing activities?
Let me tell you. I do. I mean, it does feel weird to not do them. So I've had the two extremes of this because, you know, early on when I was really struggling and trying to get things off the ground, I was not consistently doing revenue producing activities. I was spending a lot of time learning, I was just doing everything but like kicking the can down the road, not doing it. So when I finally started focusing on revenue producing activities, I was like, this is the secret, right? The secret is you just take action. You forget all that other stuff. You just action. And then a weird thing happened. Like, I felt more guilty when I wasn't doing them consistently. Like now, if I don't do anything on a Saturday, I do not feel bad about it because I put my time in during the week.
Ha.
Does that make sense?
Oh, maybe I should.
So,
I need to start adopting that mentality. I'm like, if I have shit that I need to get done, I just get it done. I don't care what day of the week it is. And I need need help. I need a throttle. I need a governor.
Well, look, there's a difference between you and I though, right? Like for me, when there's things I need to get done, like I have I have to work around other stuff, right?
True.
Like I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids, like there's stuff that needs to be done there. So,
That's true.
a lot of times I can't just drop everything and be like,
right.
So, there's a difference there. But now that being said, like when we have stuff as you know, Nick, like I'm not shy to put in the hours and work nonstop when we have something that needs to get done and when it needs to get done quick. And like, I'm not trying not to work. Right. But
yeah,
it does make a difference when you know that you're putting in time and you're getting things done and you're moving in the right direction. I think it is very important to, not feel guilty about those times that you step back or do something for yourself or whatever it is, whatever that thing is for you, whether it's smoking a cigar in the middle of the afternoon, whether it's taking a
or first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Or first thing in the morning or right before you go to bed or all 3 of the above, or whether it's playing a round of golf, like stepping away to go play a round of golf or
Marvin,
or whatever it is. Yeah. Like, that's actually part of, I think that's a key part of revenue producing activities is thinking about, okay, if I do these things, how am I going to reward myself? How am I going? I mean, look, I've kind of given up on balance. Like, I think balance is an unachievable thing. There's times that I'm working more. There's times that I'm working less, but trying to at least spend some time in all the areas of my life that are important to me, I think is important. Sometimes I'm spending more time in work and less time in my family life. But there's other times where, there's less time in work and more times in family. So, the big picture, what I don't want to feel like is that I'm working all the time and not seeing my family at all, or I'm working all the time and not taking time to have a date night with my wife or to spend time with my wife or things like that. Right. All of those things are important to me. So when I look at the revenue producing activities and all that stuff, I look at it as like, okay, if I set time aside to do these things, that allows me to have time to do these other things. And now there's a difference too, as we got started on this. Marvin said I'm on the wrong seesaw. You started off by asking, do I feel guilty about not doing them? I don't know if guilty is the right word. I do still think about them, sometimes when I'm like, I've said like, okay, well, I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm still checking things on my phone or thinking about what I need to do or like, oh, how am I going to work this around? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm the best of breaking it all up, but I try.
No, it's good. I mean, it really comes down to self-awareness. People thrive in different environments, and it's up to you to create the environment that you thrive in the most. For Tom, like he said, I'm not shy away of getting stuff done, put in the hours when I need to. I know, as somebody that works with Tom, the best way for him to actually do that is by setting a deadline on stuff. If we just have an open-ended... What? If we just have an open-ended, like, hey, we should do this, but we don't have like it needs to be done on Friday, then, who knows what happens, right? But if we say it needs to get done on Friday, then it's going to get done on Friday or before, And so it's all about knowing that, right? Knowing what type of environment you do thrive in. If it's the urgency of a deadline, if that's you, then give yourself more deadlines, But I agree with, the things that Cameron is saying here too. He's talking about working, work hard, play hard. He's like Tom, he's got a plan to relax on Saturday or at least Sunday, to be ready to go again in Monday morning. And that, that's so true for me. Like my most difficult days almost everything, whether it's, business or sports or, are the days that I have off, which sounds counterintuitive because you think the rest day is the easy day. But for me, the rest day is the most difficult because my battle is in my mind. Like I love to be doing stuff. I love to be grinding. I hate letting my to-do list pile up and get out of control. Like for me, the state of peace is like having my desk cleaned off and there's nothing that's been on my to-do list for longer than 24 hours, you know? And so
I was just looking at my desk. You wouldn't want to see my desk right now.
yeah. Does anybody relate to that? Are you more the you got to get it all done in order to feel peace in your mind? Or are you able to let it stack up and enjoy the time off and then come back and attack all of it at a later time? But, you know, what I wanted to say about that too is that those days that I do take time off and force myself to take time off, you know, something magical does happen, right? That's where all the best ideas come. That's where, you know, when I do get back into it, I'm at like 3-4 times level energy than where I left off after going on a 2-week bender, we'll call it, right?
Yeah. Well, and you know, like no matter which type of person you are too, there's always room for improvement. So, you know, over time, I've been working on, because I was always of the opinion that I worked better under pressure. You know, like I used to tell people like, oh man, I'll just do it in a couple of days because I work better under pressure. It's more effective for me. And I don't know, maybe that's true, maybe that's not, but I have gotten better because I put a conscious effort into, I know that's how, like, I know my tendency is to want to put it off and do it at the last minute. So I make a conscious effort to do a little bit on things earlier and further, and I get better at it. Right. Just like you make a conscious effort to put in off, like whichever, there's no right or wrong answer here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The important thing is that you do the revenue producing activities consistently. Setting a deadline is a really good way to do that. Rewarding yourself when you consistently do them, you know, having some system in place to say, look, if I do this many days, whatever it is that works. The other thing about it too is just fighting the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a lot of the grind, as Nick calls it. There's a lot of activities that you have to do and deal with on a daily basis in a business that aren't fun and exciting.
Yeah.
You know, fun and exciting is opening up a new course, playing around with a new piece of software. That's fun and exciting, right? Yeah. Like what's not fun and exciting is picking up the phone to call 25 businesses every single day with the same script. Like it can just feel like, you know, like things aren't, you know, that type of stuff. So, you know, that's the other part of dealing with the revenue producing activities. And for me, and I know Nick, you do this too, one of the biggest ways that we get around that is by setting up routines. We have a routine. Like I actually love having routines. You know, I know some people find them boring, but like, I love it. I love that I have the same morning routine. I love that I have, you know, I have a routine for my workday for the things like that. So that's another big thing. By the way, Dorn, take Lucy out on a date for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Dorn said, what is date night back there? Take Lucy out on a date, or at a minimum, Dorn, right now, order that woman some flowers. Come on, order that woman some flowers.
Wow, Tom, you're just putting him on blast like that, huh? In front of everybody. In front of everybody here.
Do it.
Good stuff.
I like this.
Yeah, that's the ultimate response. He says Lucy does not want to go out with me. Hey, well, you know, I can see why. You're the only guy that puts the angry face on our stream every time we start the stream. You know, everybody, look at that. We just need to kill Dorn with a little kindness today, everybody. Give him some hearts. Give him some love. You know, we appreciate him.
Yep. And you're right, JT. Revenue producing activities, the grind, the monotony of running a business, it does get more exciting when you're making money.
Yeah. And you can, you know, for me, something that I like to do too is kind of brainwash myself to some degree, right? Like I convince myself of the things that I don't really want to do. I'll make a game out of it, you know, whether if it is, you know, prospecting or talking to businesses, you know, make it a game thing. I'm going to hit, you know, 10 calls today and then I get X, or I'm going to hit 20. And if 2 of them are schedules, I'm going to do X. Then I'm going to go do this, you know, and give yourself something that helps to motivate you, do the things that are, you know, the busy work that isn't as fun and exciting. And I do that quite a bit. And when I do it that way, then I'll even get into sometimes like a flow state, like I'm almost like in deep water, and I know I'm getting all this stuff done. And that actually becomes the momentum to keep doing more and more, and like challenge yourself to do as much as you possibly can and see how far you can go with it, because there is something to riding out momentum.
Yeah. Another big tip that I don't even know that we've mentioned this, but it just hit me like, oh yeah, here's another big one. Like, find somebody you can be accountable with. I mean, Nick and I definitely, when you have another person involved and they're depending on you to get stuff done, like the deadline and not wanting to disappoint that person or wanting to pull your own weight, wanting to make sure you're doing your end, like that's another big motivating thing.
You gotta get someone like me that says, "Don't disappoint me, Tom." I know where you live.
Don't make me kick your ass. Come on, let's get going. The threat of physical violence, that's a pretty good motivator.
That's a good one. That's a good way to like keep everybody in line and doing everything they need to do, right?
No,
but here's the other thing, everybody, revenue producing activities, although a lot of them, can be in the beginning scary, but as you gain confidence, as you gain, your skills, they can become more exciting too. You can start to look forward to something that you used to not look forward to, and it becomes easier. Usually the things that are the busy work that are the most difficult are the ones you are so, you're not good at or you're unfamiliar with. And so if you can get better at those things, it makes it easier too. And, somebody else said in the stream, I don't know who it was, but they were talking about how their team is doing RPAs. And that is actually something that, I highly recommend everybody get in the habit of doing, is actually building out your team to help you doing revenue producing activities. And it's not that you won't be doing revenue producing activities yourself, but when you can create more leverage, you can have more people helping you going out there and getting after, new clients, new revenue streams. That's when your business really grows. And it may start really small in the beginning if you just, have one person, maybe just an appointment setter helping you, but when you have that going on, I don't know, for me, if my business isn't out there getting more customers, I'm just like getting further away from getting more customers. I'm getting way too far off into the weeds. So I always have to have that going on by either me or somebody else. And when I have that going on, then I feel a little more safe to be able to focus on some of the other things that don't bring in revenue right away, but help me to achieve my long-term vision of where we're going. And that could be learning skills or, nurturing strategic relationships or partnerships or things like that, And so that's when you're able to do those things a little more and a little more without as much guilt if you have somebody else helping you do that stuff too, which is why, in Remote Millionaires, guys like Dorn, Norm, the people in there, a lot of them will tell you that, their team is helping them prospect now. And so that's the way that you kind of change the game, right? You do it yourself in the beginning until you kind of get a minimum viable product where you can have somebody help you do it as well.
Yeah. And, part of that too is, I have found the more I understand myself and the better I'm able to improve those things. So, like I used to say, hey, look, I'm just a person who thrives under pressure, but that's just a cop out. There are some actions and things I can take and change that change that story. Right. So, maybe you think you're a person who can't do sales and prospecting. Well, look, probably what you want to do is, Nick's right. Whether it's you or someone else doing it, it needs to get done. So you can take kind of an honest sort of inventory of your strengths and the weaknesses. And if you say, hey, well, look, I'm not a person that's consistent. There are two ways to look at it. The first thing is you say, well, what actions can I implement that change my behavior, that help me form a new habit, that make me develop a new routine so I do become this person, right? Like I used to not be a person that worked out, but I slowly started changing that habit because, I would do things like, and it sounds dopey, but I would do things like park far away because healthy people park far away. Like I would tell myself that I'd pull in a parking lot and I would go, Tom, healthy people don't park close to the door. So then I would park far away so that I would walk further, right? I walk into a restaurant and I sit down and I see all the great junk food that I want to order on the menu. And then I would go, wait a minute, what does a healthy person order?
That's no fun. That's no fun though.
Yeah. Well, but then going to work out, right? And eventually I just developed those habits. Like I'm terrible with the diet right now, but I've been going to the gym regularly, and I've been doing.
Show them what you had when I pulled up to the green room in this live stream.
I said I'm terrible with the diet. Look, this is what Nick's talking about. Sweet tart.
I open up the StreamYard. I go into the green room. Tom's sitting there eating a sweet tart rope. Yeah. I'm like, what are you munching on there, pal?
It's progress, not perfection, Nick.
Yeah,
progress.
That's pretty funny.
Not perfection.
You know, something you said that is huge, and I have discovered this quite a bit for myself lately, and it's that I had all of these beliefs. Tell me, any of you, if you have any of these beliefs that you have set for yourself that might not actually be true. And here's one for me. And if you've been on some of my like Agency Growth Machine webinar presentations, I actually talk about this. You know, I talk about not being a master salesperson and not liking sales and not being good at sales. And it's true. Like I don't like doing sales, but am I really not good, or do I just tell myself that I'm not good all the time? And I started to think about that a little differently, right? Like when you tell yourself that you are a certain way, or you think that way about something, like I don't like this food, or I don't like going to this place, or I don't like doing that thing, you're probably never going to change your mind about that, you know? And if you got curious about it, like, do you really hate sales, or are you really not good at sales? Or are you just not that experienced in sales, which makes you feel like you don't like it? It's one of the reasons why I wrote on my webinar board, my whiteboard at the top. You can't really see it, but it says I was born to do sales, and I wasn't. But I'm trying to like psych myself out to look at it differently and convince myself that I'm probably better at it than I think, and I shouldn't keep weighing myself down with that type of negative self-talk. You know, does anybody have that feeling? You know, maybe you're telling yourself you are a certain way about something, but it might just be a lack of information, or it might just be that you felt that way a long time ago and you've never let go of that belief. You know,
well, and you know what it has been for me? It's things that I feel uncomfortable doing.
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable doing it. So my mind and my body wants me to not feel uncomfortable. So I start crafting these ways to not be uncomfortable. And, you know, also too, I don't know how you guys are, but when I do something, I want to be good at it right out of the gate. Like I expect to be good at it right out of the gate. And so if I go and I'm like, oh yeah, so, and I go and I do a sales call and it goes really bad, like I think, that's how they're all going to go. Like, you know, because I'm uncomfortable doing it. And the reality is, like, I don't know, like Dorn said, sales and almost everything else involved in being an entrepreneur are skills and processes that can be learned. You just have to put in the time to learn them. And what that means is, and maybe this is really what I was talking about earlier, about the grind, about the daily thing of being, building a business. And that is really what you feel on a daily basis is uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like I really on a daily basis feel uncomfortable because we're always doing things that I'm not familiar with, or we're trying to break into a new thing, or we're trying something to make it work. Like there's all kinds of things you have to learn, a lot of information coming at you. You're trying to piece it all together. You feel like you don't really know what you're doing. So, you know, there's that, just getting past that feeling of like being okay with feeling uncomfortable, being okay with feeling like you're not getting enough done, even though you're doing a lot, being okay with feeling like there's so much to do that you're never going to get it finished. Like sometimes you just have to embrace those feelings and be like, okay, like that's the way I feel. Okay, awesome. But we just keep doing what we're doing today. So what are my tasks for today? Like, yes, I feel that way, but what are my tasks for today? Let's get those done.
Mm-hmm. I'll even take it one step further. And for me, like, you know, you want to be an expert at things right out of the gate. Again, I'm going to keep asking everybody if they can relate to this, because I think it's important, you know, to ask that question, to see if other people identify in it. Because, you know, if somebody that you know has been able to overcome these feelings and get to the other side, one of the easiest ways for, you know, you to do that is take in some of the information that they have. So that's why I always ask everybody, can you relate to this? Can you identify with this? Because I know so many of you can, because Tom and I have been, at all levels of agency building, entrepreneurship, business, even in personal development, right? But so for me, I do want to come out of the gate, an expert. So much so that I will not even start doing something. I would even make the argument that my whole journey in business, I was afraid to start talking about what I was doing because I was afraid of what other people thought, of seeing me start small, start at the beginning. Like I only wanted people to see me come out being an expert, and that fear of like, oh, look at this guy, he's just starting his business and look what Nick's doing. And that's all imagination, right? That's not even real. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares what I'm doing.
Nobody even thinks about it.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Like,
at all. Like,
you started a business?
Yeah, but in my mind, it's like I can't start a YouTube channel because people are going to see me with 30 subscribers and they're going to make fun of me or they're going to talk shit or whatever it is. But that's not even real. Nobody cares. And I probably started my YouTube channel way too late because of that fear. I probably started, I didn't even build a website for my agency until I had like $10,000 in collected revenue. How's that for an example of that situation? Does anybody relate to that? So and if you do, then please, break through it because it's not real, it really isn't. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, I know, like one thing that you did that a lot of people probably don't know about. So when Nick and I first started working together, Nick wanted to get better at doing webinars and being live on camera and all that stuff.
I didn't want to, for the record. Okay. I didn't want to.
He decided to get better at it. So he went and joined Toastmasters. Remember when you go to Toastmasters every week?
Yeah.
Nick went to Toastmasters every week, like did the deal and like that was one of the things he did to get better. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about.
Well, I know, and I know Dorn was talking about this on the Shark Alliance call this week too. He was talking about Toastmasters. He was also talking about how Toastmasters isn't a place to pitch your services, I think, which is pretty funny. Don't go to Toastmasters doing that. But this actually kind of goes back to what you said, Tom. Like around that time when I was getting into doing my first webinar or pre-first webinar or presentation, I always thought that you were like that. You have more of that natural ability to speak with people, the gift of gab, et cetera, et cetera.
That's because I do.
That's because you do. Definitely.
Just kidding.
But you said something that really stuck out to me. And I've said this before that, the presenting, the webinars, Zoom calls, for agency side, that's what it is. It's a Zoom call, right? For us, it's a webinar when we're in the offline Sharks world, wearing the internet marketing hat, but we also wear the agency hat all the time. And those webinars just become Zoom presentations, right? Same exact skill set. And what Tom said was like, that's a learned skill. It's not something that you have to be born with in order to do that well. And for whatever reason at that time, that hit me. And I was like, yeah, I probably just need to learn this skill. I need to learn this skill. And how do I do that? Well, practice, So it started out with building the confidence and, public speaking and stuff like that, which I still till this day absolutely hate. But one thing that has worked for me is talking about the topics that I'm interested in and passionate about, because it's horrible for me to go talk about something in front of a bunch of people about a topic that I'm not interested in. But we can geek out on marketing on a live stream, Aloha Friday, every Friday, no problem. And that's because I'm interested in that stuff and it's easier. So start with that, stick with the stuff that you're good at or you're passionate about, and it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah. And one more thing I thought also, because, I noticed nobody put in like, what are revenue producing activities?
Yeah.
Somebody put in, what do you think are the revenue producing activities? Because one thing I've been thinking a lot about lately as well, when it comes to this kind of stuff, is there's a difference, like depending on where you're at, right? Like, and again, this goes back to wanting to be an expert right out of the gate. Like when I decided like, oh, I wanted to have an agency and get clients and be a marketing agency. Like I didn't realize in the beginning, like I called myself an entrepreneur, but really I was a novice. Like there was a lot of information that I that I didn't understand, that I didn't know. And so there's this early part of when you get involved in anything new or you're trying to learn a skill where you're just consuming information because you're trying to figure it out. And I know we talk a lot about the shiny object syndrome and things like that, but sometimes that's okay. You just have to be aware that that's the stage you're in and then move out of it. Just don't stay there, right? So like whenever I go to learn a new topic, there is a period where I'm consuming information and not really doing anything else because I need to get a basic understanding of what's going on. And that's in that time that I'm doing that, that's okay. As long as I have it scheduled out and like there's limits in place so that I just don't want to spend all my time there, right? I want to start taking action eventually. And so, you know, being aware of where you're at in the process and what you're trying to learn and what you're trying to do, you know, that's important. And then also too, you know, getting those skills, like maybe, you know, if you're not comfortable talking to people, that's the first skill you need to get comfortable with. Because when you're doing an agency, you're going to have to talk to people.
Yeah. And we shouldn't shy away from that, you know, like it doesn't even have to really be in person. It can be on the phone. It can be through email. It can be through text message. It can be through DMs, but you have to get comfortable communicating, you know, to some degree. So, definitely.
Jacqueline, April, I missed your guys' comments on what you said revenue producing activity was.
Yeah. I mean, calling people, emailing people, finding people to contact. A revenue producing activity is really anything that you can do to generate business for your business. When we say move the money needle, you know. So an example is actually opening a course and going through it. Is that moving the money needle? Maybe not directly, you know, but maybe the information in there is going to allow you to find something that you can use to move the money needle. So going out and buying course after course after course versus buying a course and then executing what's in there every single day over and over is going to be what's going to move the money needle, you know? And so there is something to be said, like what Tom was just talking about, for, you know, prioritizing how you, I mean, at least this is what I heard, prioritizing how you consume information, you know, like, so for example, I don't want to spend all day in a course. You know, I don't want to get caught up in the semantics of a course or training either. What I like to do when I consume one is if I buy something that I'm interested in, I will just skim through it all the way. I won't even I won't take action on all the items that it tells you to do. If it's a good course, it would probably have action steps for you, I would imagine. But I'll just go all the way through it just to get a good idea, bare essentials. You know, I'll watch everything at 2 times the speed because I can't stand watching everything in 1x. So I'll hit fast forward on everything. And once I go all the way through, that will give me a good general understanding of like where I'm trying to go. Because I don't know about you guys, but you know, following a course from the beginning to the end without knowing where we're really going is kind of difficult. Like sometimes you'll get caught up trying to figure something out only to find out that 5 videos later, it's all laid out for you exactly how you thought, right? So that's how I go through that type of thing. That's how I go through and consume information like courses. So I don't just get caught up and do the thing that we talk about, which is get ready to get ready, where we're not focusing on ways to actually take action, you know, ways to bring in more customers.
Yeah. And this is the type of stuff, just so you guys know, this kind of higher level stuff and behind the scene things are things we talk about, like in the Remote Millionaires part. So my call, not this week, but the week before, Nick, was all about this. Like, how do we manage our time and consume information and learn new subjects and learn about topics in the fastest way possible while we can still get to doing the revenue producing activities. So we spend a lot of time on this stuff, even at the, you know, the higher and the advanced levels, even, you know, even when you're in a position like Norm or Dorn or people that are generating significant income with their agencies, you're still always looking to improve these things and bring new things in and all that kind of stuff. So
I'm pretty sure Norm just made a comment that he does RPAs 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yep.
Still. He's actually gotten to a point, and I was chatting with him yesterday. He's gotten to a point where he has to stop doing revenue producing activities because the amount of customers coming into his agency has caught up with the ability and the rate of doing fulfillment at quality levels that are acceptable to him and his business. What a good problem to have, right? Too many clients. I need to pull off the gas.
Yep. What a great problem to have. Hey, okay, so I see we're about 10 minutes past the half hour. So we do have a couple of things we need to do here. Number one is every week we recognize someone in our community for being a good steward of the community, answering questions, being awesome in the Facebook group. We call it our Member of the Week. And this week, our Member of the Week is, let me share this real quick, Doug Page.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Doug, you're Member of the Week. You're actually going to get the Shark's Treasure Chest. That'll be coming your way. So somebody from our team will reach out to you. We'll get that to you. Like, you can't even see that, can you?
No, you can.
Put it up there, so
it looks good, man.
Doug. When I stand in front of the mic, you don't see it. Anyway, Doug, congratulations on being Member of the Week. If you want to be Member of the Week sometime, just be a part of the Facebook group, participate, answer questions, share successes, share your struggles. Just be a good steward of the community, and you could be recognized and pulled out as a Member of the Week and get a Shark Treasure Chest yourself.
Just do a quick search in our Facebook group for Doug's name over the last week. I mean, I know, look at everybody that, Doug has helped out. Give him a big thank you in the chat and tag him, because, I've been seeing him. I mean, he gets the questions before me all the time. He's got all the right answers. So, really appreciate Doug. Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. We also need to do our Shark shout outs. So we also we've been talking about revenue producing activities. Let's celebrate some people that have been doing revenue producing activities and have gotten some results. So these are people that have closed deals in the past week and then shared those results in the Facebook group. I'm going to share my screen here.
What do you say we fire up a little background music for the shout outs, Tom? What do you guys think? Dance pop?
Yeah, why not? Where's it
Daydreaming?
at? Yeah, dance pop. Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it.
You hear it back there? Okay, there it goes. Okay, so first up, we've got Jill Ashton. Jill sold a 1,400 pound website. That's just over 1,700 in US dollars. It's a local SEO client, 130 or 160 per month, plus extra pages and SEO monthly in a few months. Boom, boom. Way to go, Jill. Jill I also saw she just posted. Did you see her? You saw her post in Remote Millionaires about the big client she has a meeting with, the proposal. So Jill has a big deal of brewing. So good luck with that, Jill. Dill. Yeah. I said Dill. Good luck with that, Jill.
A deal.
If I can talk.
Yeah, it's going to be a big website contract. We were talking about strategy yesterday on our call.
Yeah, it's great. Another shout out to Bill Stanley. Sold 2 project management contracts, one for 1,000, one for 5,400. Oliver Leka sold a mini site for a coach. Foot in the door, 700 euros, beginning of a project which is going to include sales funnels, e-learning space, and email marketing campaigns. Good job. Good job. Our next shout out goes to Aken. Aken picked up another monthly client. Beauty salon client will be providing SEO, retargeting, and press release services. So $795 a month, a total of $2,385. Marvin Drobes. Marvin signed a new client for lead gen website, $699 plus setting up and managing Google Business Profile, $500 setup and $500 a month. He's going to write 4 articles per month plus 4 curations and work on building his Google store.
I saw that. That was a huge win.
Nick, who's this? Nick?
Who's this guy?
Yeah,
Pont?
Nick Ponte.
Pont?
Nick Ponte shared a couple of wins this week. Ongoing SEO campaign, 1,042. Monthly SEO strategy, 2,664. A software deal, 208. Monthly Google AdWords campaign, 1,082. And a $4,000 invoice for another deal. It's amazing.
Yeah, I actually sometimes I don't like to take all the credit, but like that's a team that helps bring in all those sales, right? I'm just the one that shares about them. I'm just a guy that gets to share about it. But all of those deals, and I imagine for a lot of our members as well, it takes a group effort to bring in all those customers and sales. And so, that wins for all of us, right? Everybody at the agency.
All right, so that brings the combined total for the week of June 11th through the 17th to $22,090. That makes our grand total since the start of 2022 $597,397. I mean, that's amazing.
Damn, everybody.
We are closing in fast, Marvin. We need to get everybody to keep sharing their wins in our Facebook group so we can get there, right? I know there's so many people out there that are getting deals, bringing in new customers for their business, and I'm one of those guys, right? Like I'm busy. I have a difficult time sharing them. That's why I had, 5 or 6 this week that were collected over the last 7 days, just because, sometimes we get distracted, but it's good to share the wins. It's good to share the wins. People ask questions. We let them know how we do it. And then they actually win too because of it. So we all got to build each other up. It's all part of the process. Yeah. Congratulations, everybody. Really great work. And by the way, another big shout out to all the daddy sharks out there. This Sunday is Father's Day.
Oh.
So happy Father's Day, everybody. I hope you guys have a good safe day. Have fun.
What do you guys got lined up, Tom? Or do you know? Is it a surprise?
I have no idea. Well, I was able to root out one surprise. They are taking me out to dinner.
Oh.
So I know that I'm eating steak tomorrow night.
Nice.
At T-Bone's, which will be good. That place is great. But I don't know what else is coming. They've been pretty tight-lipped about it.
Nice. Well, I hope it's fun. Me and Kevin will probably go for a walk in the park together. No.
Yeah. Gonna play catch with your son?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's great. All right. Well, why don't we anybody have any questions for us? You guys have any questions?
Yeah, we can throw out some topics of discussion too, just for the last 15 minutes here. I know we have a lot of people that obviously been working on selling remarketing. We have traffic fill, we have secret traffic code. But also today on this call, we also talked a lot about, prospecting, revenue producing activities, building a team to help you do those revenue producing activities, outsourcing, fulfillment. All those topics are great. So, these live streams, I mean, I don't know that people really realize it, but every week we're here for an hour. So if you ever really had any questions that you needed to throw to Tom or I, this is the time. So let's see. Somebody says, I got to pick your brain sometimes, need advice. You can just I don't know who you are,
right
but
here. Pick our brain now.
Do it.
Jacqueline says, what's your favorite RPA?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Mine's eating sweet tart ropes. No.
Producing a lot of revenue with that one. Jacqueline, it depends. I think for me, what I do is, I try to make sure that everybody on my team that's in those roles, prospecting, sales, appointment setting, I make sure that I find out what their favorite revenue producing activity is. Like, what is their modality that they do best? Are they a phone person? Are they an email person? Are they an ad person? And I try to focus on their skill sets, and for me, I guess, and I can tell you what Tom's was much more strong than me is going to networking events, talking to people about business.
Well, doing the mailer, that was my favorite RPA.
It's a good one.
Like I loved doing the mailer, like that whole process of that thing I thought was great.
My favorite revenue producing activity is probably just, I like to go online and find people that are close to me, identify some sort of pain point that they have in their online presence. And that can be by way of, a software tool or just doing some basic research on them and then just reaching out, phone, email, appointment setter, whatever. And so I do that, and I have people on my team doing that regularly. And, oftentimes when we create a new foot in the door strategy, I mean, it's kind of fundamentally the same thing, right? We're finding people who need to have this problem solved. If we're selling a service or we have a software tool that helps us fulfill this service, we need to find product market fit. And, generally outreaching to people is usually always best done by finding people that need help and solving that problem, offering to solve that problem for them.
And I'm going to say this, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way though, because in the beginning of starting my agency, like I was doing all the revenue producing activities. I was going out, talking to businesses, going to networking events, doing whatever I needed to do to generate income and checks. But my favorite revenue producing activity these days are the ones I don't have to do. Listen,
wow, you just turned that into a dad joke, didn't you? You had to.
Things that you could, or things that you can do once that continue to generate revenue over time. Like that really, working on those types of projects really appeal to me these days. But all right, let's get some other questions. So I don't know who this person is. Says, just getting started. I need help with my business website or one that works. Any suggestions? So do you happen to be a member of our Shark Alliance? If you're a member of the Shark Alliance, inside that training, we actually have a agency website, and I don't think you can see it anymore. Since we combined. Yeah.
Well, you want me to share mine while you look that up?
Yeah, pull up a demo of the agency. I just wanted to show them a demo of it, but I don't know where it's at.
Oh no, I didn't have an agency. I didn't have a website in my. I was gonna say what are my suggestions?
Yeah, I'll let you do your shit. But we do have a free agency website that's a WordPress thing that looks really good. All right, go ahead, Nick.
And so you give it away, right? Like that's, or what are you?
I'm talking about for their agency.
I see. Oh, I don't know why I'm confused.
They want help with their agency website.
Right. For some reason, I thought that you were asking this question. Hold on. Here, this one. I didn't even read the question you had pulled up. Oh. But I was just assuming that that's what you were asking.
Okay, yeah. No, you should check that out. We have a free agency website that's a really good one. So you could use that one. You can go and answer this question.
Yeah. And so what's a good revenue producing activity schedule? So like in Remote Millionaires the other day, we have a private Slack community where all of our members live. One of the things I was talking about is I gave them a little challenge the other day, and it's kind of a simple challenge. And this is a good schedule for somebody who's just getting started too. It's the 3-3-3 challenge. So you can make 3 calls per day, outbound calls or sales calls, whatever, right? Send 3 text messages per day asking somebody, what do they need in their business, or maybe just even in their life. You just want to generate activity, right? And then send 3 emails asking for a referral, or offering to help somebody with what they need in their business or in their life. And if you do that, every day for a week or even a month or even a year, 365 days a year, it's probably 1,000 calls that you will have made by the end of the year. Even just that small amount, that will probably take you an hour at the most per day. 3-3-3. So.
I started with 5 businesses a day, just reaching out to 5 businesses a day. Yep. Well, here I found the link. Cameron was nice enough to share it. So this is our Offline Sharks agency theme. So it comes with all the content. So we had a professional writer do all this content. So all the content you see here, all the images are included. So it's got different you can do different packages, things like that, add testimonials. It's got all that stuff. And then you can see there's a blog. If you go to the services section, you'll see there's some different things for services. So this is what I use for a long time for my agency site. Cameron, I think we need to have them. Can you have the team look at this? I don't know why this is showing here.
You need to update that theme. It's been a long time. It's out of date, sir.
I know this is our demo.
Well, it hasn't been. Yeah. Okay. Well, we need.
That's
to
why I
update
messed
it.
them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen, and then
Charles says, "How can I get a copy? I have one of the older layouts." Charles, you should. If you're a member of the Shark Alliance, you can always go download the latest version in there.
Yep.
Lori says she uses that theme and loves it. We love it too. It's a great theme. A lot of people use it, and it's very good to start, have a good base level for your agency. April says, I started sending 10 cold emails a day, been doing it all week, and will continue. Nice, April. Nice. Maybe you could share some of what you're doing in the, take a screenshot of one of your emails you send out and post it in the Facebook group so we can give you some feedback. Let us know how your open rates are going, if you're getting any responses, and then post some of those responses. How would you all in this community respond to this? How would you take this response and turn that into a paying customer? That's the power of this community, is being able to ask those types of questions. Charles says he's not a member. Yeah, Charles, if you go to our website, offlinesharks.com, you'll find more information on our Shark Alliance program as well.
Yeah, Charles, do you already have the agency theme though? Like, are you just saying you have an older version of it, like it was in the course you bought or something? Because you should just be able to go into your dashboard and hit update.
I think Charles just came in through Online Revenue System.
Gotcha.
Welcome, Charles. Good to have you here with us.
All right. Okay. Oh, you know what else we need to do? Well, we're going to have to do some Cash App money here in a minute. Somebody asked, what am I reading? That's a great question. I'm actually reading this. This just showed up. Nick has one of these on the way, but it's called On Camera. And it's about getting better on camera. So that's what I'm reading.
Not a pretty funny joke to go with that.
You do? What's your joke?
Does that come with the... Never mind, I'm not going to say it. Oh, man. Somebody says, when reaching out to businesses, if I email them first, should I text them or call? And how long do I reach out after email? Thanks. So that's a good question. What I like to do, if possible, is I like to try to enhance my prospecting by making my name look familiar however I can before sending an email. So for instance, if you have an ideal prospect, somebody you want to work with, a business owner, what you want to do is research them online. Maybe they have social media. And if they do, maybe they regularly post and publish content there. Well, maybe you can like and comment and engage with them there first, and maybe give them value in that way. A lot of people are posting on social media and they're looking to get engagement themselves. And most people will respond to a lot of the responses, especially if they're, starting to grow their following, like a lot of business owners are. So if you can get a little engagement there, help them to recognize your name so that when you do send an email, you're not just some random person sending an email. It's, hey, I'm the guy that, gave you some value in the comments, or, gave you a little more information about something you were talking about on social media. So that way you can enhance what you're doing. So it's up to you, maybe you want to engage with them on social media first and then send them an email. But you don't have to do that, right? That's not the only way to do things. I think, phone or email first is usually best. Text is a little, text out of the blue is a little, you can do it, but phone or email is usually the best to start.
Yep. And then what I would usually do is just wait a day or two and then reach out to them and say, hey, I sent you an email. Did you get it? Or give them a call like, hey, I'm just following up. I sent an email a few days ago. Just want to make sure you got it. I used to do that all the time with letters. I would send direct mail letters. Then I would call them I would kind of wait to let them arrive. Then I'd call them. So Patches may start barking in the background, so be ready. I just heard the garage door open. But we do need to do one more thing before we get out of here, and that is...
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we going to get some Cash App money to, Nick?
Well, a couple of people. So at the beginning of the stream, we talked about giving away some Cash App money that we didn't give any away to because we just got caught up in this great conversation and dialogue. So I just scrolled up and I had asked a question about, what are some revenue producing activities? What does it mean? And, I think Jacqueline had a really good response, emails to warm prospects, Loom videos to businesses, phone calls. Doing those 3 times a day. I thought that was great. So we're going to give Jacqueline some Cash App money. And then also at the middle of this stream today, we had our shout outs, right? And then all the people that got a shout out, you can find in the post in the Facebook group. And we picked 2 people that congratulated them at random on that post. And we're going to give them some Cash App money. So that's Kristen Bedard and Patty Rakowski. You are our winners today, so we're going to send you some Cash App money. And thank you all for being here. It's been a great stream. We had a great conversation.
Yeah, really great questions. Awesome that you guys took time out of your Friday to join us. Stay safe this weekend. Again, everybody have a great Father's Day. We will see you here next Friday, same shark time, same shark channel. Until then, practice aloha, stay safe. Talk to you later, everybody.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly marketing jam session. Always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote business from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's podcast at tomgaddis.com. We'll be back here next Friday for another Sharks Live Show. Until then, aloha.